Hi, first grade friends. I'm back again today with Diva and Flea. Remember, one of our favorite authors, Mo Willems, and the uh, illustrator is Tony Diterslz. That's a hard one. It's by Hyperion Books for Children, an imprint of Disney Book Group. I'm going to be reading chapter 5 and 6 today. La Première Entr'acte is what this is called, this section. Oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be 4 or 5. Chapter 4, Feet. After Diva and Flea had shared their first laughter together, Diva invited Flea to visit her courtyard every day. Diva would stand by the gate as Flea told stories about the underground rooms on wheels, the people who would drink coffee all day, the piece of salami and the broom that missed, and many more of his adventures. Diva had never thought about the world beyond her courtyard until she heard Flea's amazing stories. She especially liked the one about the tower, so tall and so pointy that it could cut a cloud in half, like a knife slicing through a soft piece of delicious cheese. Diva loved cheese. For Diva, just inside her courtyard gate was the most wonderful place on earth for listening to Flea's stories. There, the sun warmed her fur, and his stories warmed her imagination. But then, as often as not, she would hear the ominous click-clacking of feet, either entering or exiting the apartment buildings. Diva was a small dog, smaller than a person's foot. The way a foot tended to come crashing down from the sky made her aware of just how squishable she was. The fact that feet usually traveled in pairs did not help things one bit. As soon as she heard the telltale click-clacking, Diva would yell, "Feet!" and run away. And after enough time had passed, Diva would slowly return to the courtyard. Look at all those feet. Then Flea could resume his story. That is, until that telltale click-clocking returned. Diva couldn't help but yell, "Feet!" and run away again. It was who she was. "I like telling you my stories," Flea told Diva with a smile, "but they sure take a long time to finish." Chapter 5, A Big Thought. One day, after he had finally told the story of the store where the man roasts whole chickens and could learn a thing or two about sharing, Flea said, "Well, time for me to go." "Where will you go when you go?" asked Diva curiously. "Where won't I go when I go where I go?" replied Flea proudly. "How am I supposed to know where you won't go when I don't know where you do go when you go?" asked Diva. By now their little dog and big cat brains were very confused. Unsure of what to do next, Diva thought of yelling "Feet!" and running away, but there were no feet anywhere to be seen, so Diva just stood there. "You should join me one day," said Flea suddenly. "You could be a flaneur like me." "What is a flaneur?" asked Diva, worried it might be a type of mouse catcher. Flea explained that a flaneur is someone or some cat or maybe even some dog who wanders the streets and the bridges and the alleys of the city just to see what there is to see. And a great flaneur has seen everything but still looks for more because there is always more to discover. "I am a great flaneur," Flea said with his tail raised high. "That is how I discovered you." "But little dogs like me are not flaneurs," said Diva certainly. "There are always exceptions," replied Flea. They are what make you exceptional. Diva thought about being a flaneur. Simply imagining the big buildings and the giant parks and the wide avenues and the tower that could cut a cloud in half made her shiver. The world was larger than she had thought possible, and it was all right there on the other side of the courtyard gate. That was a big thought for a little dog. That's all for today, friends. I'll see you tomorrow.